Lesson 195. This is one of my favorite lessons. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Isn't that a fascinating phrase? We get to play with that. It says gratitude's a lesson hard to learn for those who look upon the world amiss. The most they can do is see themselves as better off than others. This is not where any of you are at. You're so far beyond this. But remember who it was channeled to when it happened back in the early 60s. A whole different world, okay? So we're not going to look at that first couple of paragraphs, or even this third, or even the fourth, because all of that is irrelevant. But we go down to the fifth paragraph. Therefore, give thanks, but in sincerity. In sincerity. Let your gratitude make room for all who will escape with you the world that we've been living in, right? All the people who are there. Let your gratitude make room for all the other people out there. We're not going to compare ourselves with them. And that's one of the lessons the Course has been giving us, right? We're not going to be judging. We're not going to be comparing. We're just going to be. And we're going to discover that every being that bees with us is helping us learn this experience of love, right? Next paragraph, we thank our Father, we thank the source of all that is, for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore one with the all that is, right? So the fundamental gratitude is, it's all one, it's all good. That's the fundamental gratitude. But yes, we can experience the joyful gratitude of wonderful people, of beautiful skies, of fabulous meals, of, flowers that just call us into them, or hummingbirds that hover nearby, or whatever it is. A beautiful car. I don't care what it is. But the fundamental gratitude is that we are separate from nothing. We are not separate from anything. We are totally integrating, interacting, interdependent in all these wonderful ways. Next sentence, and we rejoice that no exceptions ever can be made which would reduce our wholeness, nor impair or change our function to complete the one. Oh, look at that. So there's another exploration of function. We've talked about forgiveness, we've talked about salvation, we've talked about learning, we've talked about happiness, and fundamentally our function is to complete, to have the experience, to encourage all humanity through our own beingness, to have the experience of total oneness with the all that is, right? We give thanks for every living thing. All right, we give thanks for every living thing, including those mosquitoes with that virus. Virus isn't living, so we don't have to give thanks for that, unless you really want to. But the mosquitoes, yes, let's give thanks to them, because they're helping people wake up. They're helping pay attention. We give thanks for bacteria. It's borderline, but it seems to be alive. We give thanks for all living, all moving. The water as living, yes? The living light. We give thanks for life in all its forms. All right, the next paragraph. Walk then in gratitude, the way of love. Hatred is forgotten when we lay comparisons aside. As soon as I stop making someone different, someone other than, there's no way I'm going to experience anything other than appreciation and acceptance, yeah? Which is an easy way to say love. Appreciation and acceptance. Okay, the fear of God is now undone at last. God is not different, not other than, so I don't have to be afraid of, or, concerned for, or whatever. All right? All right. And so in the lesson, it's saying in the next sentence, thus we cannot choose to overlook some things and retain some other things still locked away as sins or errors or whatever's, okay? So we get to be grateful for everyone and everything that we have ever experienced. What an interesting concept, yeah? Next paragraph, today we learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. We have been given everything. And everything, as we learn in 192, is a lesson for us to experience, and we don't need to be afraid about the future in 193 and 194. We're on 195 now. In those previous two lessons, we've been brought to this experience, okay? And the last paragraph, our gratitude will pave the way to him and shorten our learning time by more than you could ever dream of. And this is like the miracles, right? We've said that when we experience the miracle over here, we've actually leapfrogged over all the experiences that might otherwise have brought us to that understanding. When we go into that place of releasing and replacing the old ideas and replacing them with a deeper, fuller, more complete understanding, we've leapfrogged. Same thing with gratitude. It's interesting. When we go into gratitude, just appreciating and, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nummy. Well, maybe I didn't experience it in nummy, but thank you, thank you, thank you anyway, right? When we go into that place, then we've literally sidestepped, jumped around, leaped over, I don't care what you want to say, all the experience needed to learn to appreciate and care for all the other beings that we are surrounded by all the time, because we are never separate. We can't be separate. We cannot be isolated and alone. We cannot be left to struggle. It's not possible. All right? The last couple sentences, your gratitude to him is one with his to you, for love can walk no road except the way of gratitude, and thus we go who walk the way to God. All right? So as soon as we start experiencing gratitude, the love follows. For me, that love and gratitude are like almost the same thing, kind of like the water crystal picture in the Emoto. There's one that is love and gratitude, right? The most beautiful picture out there. So if we can see that, even if I can't pretend to love someone in the moment because I've got all these stories from the past that have got me blocked, I can be grateful that they're present, or that this experience has been in my life. And that will begin to open the door to be able to love. And that leapfrogs over all these other experiences. So remember, with 195, we're following that same pattern. We're going to spend as much time in the morning and as much time in the evening as we need to begin to feel this, to feel that gratitude and love for all beings, for all forms of life, every living thing, which is an aspect of the divine, so that we may all be the one. And as we move into that love and gratitude place, we begin to feel the opening that is the gratitude that we are experiencing in the form of love and life and peace and well-being from the source of all that is. And again, as with the previous two lessons, each hour or in the breaks from one activity to the next, we look back over the previous time and we go, what can I be grateful for here? How can I use gratitude to transcend the other behaviors and shift into love? Now, I know some of you are doing this all the time, but every now and then it's a good idea to check in. Thanks again. We will talk soon.